Just a few days ago, an event called Raptor Rampage went live, but it seems that some players are confused as to how this event works and how to use the buff. While I too am confused, I do know how you can statistically guarantee yourself some money from this event, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. For more Runescape guides, content, and news, be sure to subscribe. Every single day, by talking to the Raptor NPC or right-clicking him and choosing Grant Favor, you're able to get a triple rare drop buff. Essentially, what this buff is a buff that will give you 3 rare drop rolls from a single boss kill once per day instead of 1. So you're killing 3 bosses for the price and time of 1. However, it's not that simple. It doesn't work at the Arcalaso and Telos because of the streaking loot system, and while it was said that it doesn't work at raids, according to this Reddit post, it does actually seem to work at raids, which has also had its drop rates increased unrelated to this event permanently. According to Modjack on Reddit, it should also work similarly for bosses with multiple loot piles such as Croesus, but the answer doesn't really go into detail, which leaves me with some questions. And chances are those questions are going to be left unanswered. But it doesn't really matter because Croesus isn't a boss you want to be doing using this event's buff. Any boss that you can kill quickly is a complete waste of your time doing this event unless you're trying to complete a collection log because you're trying to get that last item. It's also worth pointing out that this event doesn't work on pet drops as they have their separate threshold drop system. Okay, so where should you be using this drop rate increase? Well, you should be using it at bosses with long kill times and low denominators on their rare drops, so the second number in the fraction. By far, the best location to use the drop buff is at Tuscal Zuck, more specifically in hard mode, but normal mode is still a decent place to use it. In hard mode, you have a 1 in 30 chance of getting Zekel, so the tier 95 sword pieces, or 1 in 27 chance without dying or teleporting out. You also have a 1 in 50 chance to get a Magma Tempest ability codex or the Scripture of Fall. These are 2 separate drop tables, by the way, that should both be boosted. When boosted, your drop rate goes to a 1 in 10 for sword pieces or 1 in 9 with a Deathless Run. You also have a 1 in 16.66 chance to get a Magma Tempest ability codex or a Scripture of Fall. Both of these rates can be increased by 2% with the enriched Pontifex ring as well. These are by far the lowest drop rates for drops worth hundreds of millions of GP you can get without pushing Enrage at bosses to insane limits. This means you can effectively guarantee yourself a rare drop from this event as long as you consistently do Zuck hard mode every single day until it ends on January the 22nd. One of these Zuck hard mode runs will take you anywhere from 20 to 70 minutes depending on your own gear and ability, and if you need a guide, I'll leave mine linked in the description below. It's also worth mentioning that you can grab the buff before you start the waves, as Harakan doesn't have any rare uniques that can snipe the drop rate buff. If you plan to do normal mode, your run will pretty much take you half as long as hard mode will take you, and you have a 1 in 100 chance of either getting the Magma Tempest ability codex or the Scripture of Fall. Using this event, you'll have a 1 in 33.33 chance of getting a rare drop, which still is pretty good. Another decent choice for a boss is Elite Dungeon 3. Now, the reason Elite Dungeon 3 is so good is because Eldrick's crossbow pieces are a 1 in 55 chance in solos, meaning with this drop rate buff, you have a 1 in 18.33 chance of getting a piece, and if you're lucky, you can even double one of those pieces as well. Now, I'm personally going to stick with hard mode Zuck throughout the entirety of this event, but if you happen to do the Ambassador, be sure to activate your buff before the Ambassador and not at the start of your Shadow Reef run, because Taraket might snipe your buff. I'm not sure, but just in case, activate it when you're banking for the Ambassador boss or the final boss only. Also, if you can't take the Ambassador down, you can use a Death Touch Dart as well. You don't actually need to kill the boss physically to consume the buff. Another decent choice is doing Zamorak Lord of Chaos, but if you're going to be doing Zamorak, you better make sure you're doing the boss at 100% Enrage or higher if you can do so. At 50% Enrage, you have a 1 in 97 chance of getting a rare drop. With the event, that would be 1 in 32.33. At 100% Enrage, you have a 1 in 80 chance of getting a rare drop. However, you also build up bad luck mitigation for every single kill you don't get a rare drop past 10 kills. So at 20 kills dry, you'll have a 1 in 70 chance. At 30 kills dry, you'll have a 1 in 60 chance. Let's say you're 30 kills dry and you use the event, you have that 1 in 60 chance. Well, that's now a 1 in 20 chance, and the higher your enrage is, the higher chance you'll have of getting those lovely bow pieces. If you're a very good player, perhaps farming low enrage kills for that bad luck mitigation and then doing a high enrage kill using the triple drop buff is a good idea as well. What do you do if you can't take out these bosses? Well, then simply do a lower tier boss, of course, like Nex Or maybe just Vindicta if you're an Iron Man or a newer player. Just be sure to use this buff because it is worth it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.